Hey there, this is Donna Ashton with Donna Ashton Coaching, and today I thought I would try out a YouTube live stream. This is my first time, and so I thought I would also just tell you a little bit about how I created a totally passive online business from my homeschooling. So this is rewinding back to way back in 2009, and I was homeschooling my twin daughters who were then in first grade. And I had been wanting to start a business, and I had been wanting to, do something else. I was homeschooling, of course, and I was very busy with them, but I wanted to have something of my own that was business because I had tried some other businesses and it was just too hard with two little twins at home and while I was homeschooling as well. So I decided to use the passion that I had for the homeschooling that we were doing and the beautiful things that we were spending our times doing in the yard and baking and painting and singing and all of these beautiful things, and help other families do the same. And it was a very collaborative start because I needed some help with my own homeschooling, as well as I was trying to help other people who didn't have a school nearby, who didn't have the support they needed. So I really created some training programs. I put together what I did know, and after a while, I grew quite a large list of homeschooling families, and I was making a little bit of money here and there with my trainings, having a lot of fun, learning a lot about how to run a business and how to run an online business because I really had no idea. And then things kind of came to a head when my husband, who is in the building industry, lost his job during the recession. And we knew we were in for a long haul because, as we can see, it's taken 5 or more years for the building industry to rebound. And so we were okay for a while. And if you've heard my story before, we tapped into our savings, we tapped into our 401k. We were like, oh, we're going to be okay. He'll find something, but it wasn't happening. And we live in a very small, touristy coastal town where there's nothing here but tourism. And I was trying to look to see if I could get a job, and with homeschooling, and the only thing that was available would be like a waitress or working at a hotel or something I had no experience with and was never going to be able to make enough money. Plus, I didn't want to put my kids in school. So we were really at a crossroads, and we were falling farther and farther behind on our payments, especially our mortgage, because it was such a large chunk. We were kind of keeping our head above water, but the mortgage was getting skipped. And one day, a car pulled up in the driveway, and a man got out and started taking photos of our house. And we realized it was the mortgage company, and they were about to start foreclosure proceedings on our house. So we knew we had to do something fast. And after the tears and all of the crazy, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? I decided that I had heard about creating an online program, and I had found the person. I just didn't have the money to invest in getting the program so I would know how to do it. I literally went to a friend and borrowed the money and just hoped and prayed that I could, make it back so I could pay her back. It was $1,000. And that was a lot of money when you can't pay your mortgage and can barely put food on the table. So, but I thought, I don't know what else to do. So this has to work. So I literally sped through that program. It was like a 6-week program or something. And I was literally doing my program while I was learning, and launched that out maybe 4 or 5 weeks after we started. and had a very successful first launch. I made like $7,455 from that first program. I had a list of about 1,500 homeschooling families at the time. So I did have some kind of a list. Social media was not even a thing really back then. I barely had a Facebook page. So social media was just getting cranked up. So I really had not much on social media at all at the time. It was all an email list, and a pretty small one at that. So it was amazing that I could make $7,500 just by putting this course together and not leaving the house. And obviously, I learned a lot on how to do that. 3 months later, I relaunched the same program to my list and made another, like, I don't remember what it was, $8,700 or something, a little bit more than I made the first time. So I realized a couple things, which were I could make money on demand. My people loved these online courses. I love these online courses. I would create the course and then sell it. And then I would sell it again. And then I created several other, well, maybe dozens of other courses over the years for myself, and ended up having some core programs that I would sell once a year. So like in the spring, I would sell one course, and then in the summer, I would have another thing. And then in the fall, another type of thing. And it was all around homeschooling, what they would need that time of the year, like a planning, and then how to make it work, and how to set up your homeschool, whatever. And so I had these all running, and I would just open enrollment up once a year, so people would have to get into it, and they became very coveted. Oh my gosh, I have to get in now because it won't be open until next year. And you don't have to do it that way. This is the way I did it, because I had a whole library full of courses and programs. So I had many to choose from. So I didn't have to keep selling just the same one, but many people, and for a while, I just had the same one and keep selling. So there's many ways to do it. That's the way I did it. And my entire business was built on courses and programs. I didn't have any live coaching until way later on, when my kids actually went to school. I took just a few, maybe 3 or 5 clients to test out, how it felt to work with someone one-to-one, because I had never done that before. And it was kind of different. And now I do some of that in my new business, but in this homeschooling business, it was totally program-based. And when I went back to look at how many people had come into my programs over the years, something I never did, but my coach had asked me to speak to her group all about how I did this. And she wanted to know how much money I had made and how many people had enrolled in my courses. And I was like, okay. And I knew what I had made as far as the money, which was about over $500,000 in passive income. Again, this is part-time, working about 10 to 15 hours a week or less, just as a secondary income. But what really struck me was the amount of people that had signed up for my courses. And it was about 6,000 families all over the world. All right, when I went and looked, that was the thing that really stuck with me. The impact that I made and the amount of people that I was able to help. I would have never been able to, personally help 6,000 people. But through my programs and my courses and my trainings, I was able to help so many people in places I've never heard of and certainly have never been. And they were able to get the help from me that they needed. So that was the big thing for me. And then people started asking me, how do you do this? And can you show me how to do it? So I started with my homeschool moms, because they were on my list and they were the ones asking me. They were staying home with their kids and they wanted to make some money on the side. So I started there, and then blossomed out into helping entrepreneurs create online courses, authors take their book and turn it into an online course, and now into helping professionals lawyers, therapists, doctors, executives, and bringing their expertise into an online course and creating a funnel and ways for them to get their marketing out there. So that's my story on how I created a passive income business from homeschooling, and how it's now turned into my coaching programs on how to monetize and leverage your expertise, whether you are a teacher or you've just gone through some kind of a traumatic endeavor and you've come out the other side, your own experience, or whether you've already been helping others with their, helping them in some way, if you're already doing some kind of counseling or helping or teaching, turning that into your own passive income source by creating that online course once and then selling it over and over and over for years. I sold these online courses for my homeschool business. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that last summer, I actually sold my homeschool business because it was so turnkey, and because I had all these courses and I had the launches and everything set up. A colleague and friend of mine was able to come in and scoop all of that up with my list and with all of everything. And then I was actually able to actually sell what I had worked so hard for and created, and was able to create not only money during that time, but then to sell it for a nice profit at the end. So you never know what's possible. I had no idea when I first got started where I would end up. But I think if you've got the passion, if you've got that desire to help people, and you have a strong commitment to making an extra side income or saving for retirement or getting out of what you're currently doing, replacement income, whatever that is, the power of online courses and programs is really quite amazing. And I don't know of another way that you can really create a business that is so leveraged so quickly, so that you can create this and start selling it in a few weeks, get it out there on the market, and then it's up to you how big you want to go. If you want to turn it up, turn it down, sell it once a year, sell it every month, sell it every day, sell it at once a quarter. There's many ways that you can go ahead and market your course, but having that online course out there to help people and to help you create this passive income, consistent money coming in business for yourself and your family. So if you need more information on how to get started, I have a free masterclass. Look in the description below. I'll pop it in there and you can join my free masterclass that goes over the 6 steps you need to start setting up your online course from scratch, right from zero, all the way up to launching out your course in about 6 to 8 weeks. So go ahead and check below if you want to go ahead and just listen and watch this about 60-minute free training. And good luck. I'd like to hear if any of you below have started an online course and how far you've gotten, what's your topic. Just give me a little info here. I'd love to hear from you. So, all right, until next time, I will see you there. Bye-bye.